moodfabrics.com.
Today we're going to look at a few pressing techniques to help give your ensemble that nice finished look. So let's take a look at our tools. We have our iron, we have the ironing board, we have a sleeve board, we have a pressing cloth, a tailor's ham, and we have a clapper. Okay, so let's take a look at how you would press open a basic flat seam. The first thing you want to do with your iron is make sure that it's on the proper settings. So if you are using a cotton or a cotton base, maybe a linen fiber, natural fibers, you can go on a higher setting. And if you are using synthetic fibers, you may want to make sure you adjust your iron to a lower setting. So now with your basic flat seam, you can finger press it open just to make sure you have it nice and flat. And then when you press, you're just simply pressing it as you go. I have a light steam that's coming out, so I can make sure that I get it nice and flat. But if you are using a fabric that you should not steam, you can change the setting and make sure you don't have it. Now when I flip it over to the right side, you shouldn't be able to see your seam allowance marked or embossed on the other side, because that means you're over pressing it, okay? So you can go over it just lightly again on the finished side when you're complete with your garment and you want to give it one good final press. But that's pretty much it for pressing your basic flat seam. If you're using a fabric that has maybe, let's say, a boucle or some kind of texture, you can use your clapper to trap in the steam as you are pressing, because you may not necessarily want to hold the iron directly onto your fabric. So what you would do is just slightly hover above, allow some steam to come out, and then use the clapper to trap the steam in and just press. So this way you're not damaging your fabric, and that's how you use the clapper. Now let's take a look at how you would press your French seams. I'm going to use the tailor's ham. It has all these nice curves that you can use and take advantage of. So let's open up our seam, and your French seam will be pressed to one side. This is a sample of a crotch or rise seam, so it has that curve. Okay, so that's why we want to use the tailor's ham. You want to position it so that you're nice and comfortable and you have a good comfortable position, and we are pressing to one side, okay? And just begin pressing it section by section. You can move it along any of the curves you can take advantage of so that it feels comfortable to you. Slightly pull the fabric. You don't want to stretch it, but just so that you can hold it in place. And then go on to the next section and press. And you're going to do that all along your seam. Okay, so you can take a look. And again, on the right side of the fabric, you shouldn't be able to see your seam allowances pressing through, but you can go over it again and just give it a nice press once your garment is completely finished. If you are using a fabric that's very delicate and you don't want to damage it, like a synthetic, you can use a pressing cloth. You can purchase a pressing cloth very easily from a lot of different craft places, but if you don't have one, or if you don't want to purchase one, you can make a pressing cloth out of muslin. It's cotton and it will protect your fabric and it won't damage your fabric. So when you use your pressing cloth, you would just lay it right on top of whatever fabric you're using and then press. It's simply used just to protect your fabric so that you won't damage it. Okay, so now let's take a look at how you would press your finished hem. Normally you would use this end of your ironing board, but just for purposes of showing you easily, I'm going to use my pressing arm. I'm going to turn my garment onto the wrong side, and then I'm going to slide it on using this open end, and that makes it easier to navigate, okay? So we're going to take our iron and just press, and then we're going to turn it and press again in small sections as we go around, and continue all the way around just like that. Okay, and then when you're done, you can turn your garment back to the right side, and you can give it one final press, but you don't want to press it too much because you don't want the end of your hem to show through on the front. So that should be good. And here you have it, guys. Our saffron ensemble is all complete and done. I hope you had just as much fun as I did hosting. Again, I am Siobhan Cruz from moodfabrics.com, and be sure to tag us so we can see all of your beautiful makes at #MadeWithMood. And for more information on future courses, visit us at moodfabrics.com. Hope to see you soon.